friends, welcome to today's created card. I'm going to be using some more Ippity stamps today, so I wanted to show you what they are going to be. The first one I'm going to use is the ticket from Here and Now, which is from the 2010 fall collection, and then also the Happy Anniversary stamp from, what is this? Just Wanted to Say, which is the 2009 fall collection from Ippity. So it's going to be a happy anniversary card. We're going to go ahead and start building a little bit of the card here. I'm going to start with, I'm using a bunch of scraps today, so that's kind of fun to use up. Just little bits and pieces that I have hanging around. If you ever were wondering, this is how I store my scraps. And this is basically all my solids. I keep all my solids in one. There seems to be a few straggling patterns in here, but that's probably because I don't know where they came from. But generally I keep all my solids just in a big bag, and then my scraps I keep with the actual pattern paper collection that they came from. That's just how I organize things. So I grabbed a piece of white cardstock from my scrap pile, and I'm going to get this ticket stamp all inky with some black ink, just some VersaFine. And on the stamp it says "This Is" up in the top here in this little area, and I don't want that in this particular card, so I'm going to try this and I hope it works. What I might do is just take a little bit of removable adhesive, and I'm going to lay that directly on my stamp here before I ink it up. So I'm doing a little bit of masking, but this time directly on the stamp, and we'll see how that works. I don't have an exact plan for this card yet, so it should be interesting. Just kind of figuring it out as I go along. Oh, that worked well. So now just going to pick that up and go ahead and stamp. And now that just leaves a blank area up here, and I plan to cover this later, so I didn't feel like I needed to mask that. Okay, so I have my Stamp-A-Majig out, and I'm going to be using a Colorbox chalk ink, this time in a Prussian blue, I guess it's called. So I'm just going to ink my sentiment up lightly, and that way I know where it's going to end up on my image. Where do I want it? I think I want it right here. Do that one more time. Didn't stamp quite the way I wanted it to. So now I'm just going to trim this out with my scissors here. I'm going to leave a little bit of a white edge so it pops against the rest of the card. Next thing I have is a scrap of red paper that I'm just going to punch a heart out of. And then I have another scrap of red here that I'm going to glue it to. Or a scrap of black, I don't remember what I said. And then next, I'm going to use some of these little tiny scallop scissors and cut that out to create a little bit of a scalloped border around this heart. and that will eventually be going here. So we'll set that aside. The next thing I want to build is a strip of paper here. I believe it came from my card base. When I cut out my card base, I had a scrap from that. So this is 5.5. Just mark. I found that if I mark on my what are these, Fiskars punches, where to line up that first line, it makes it easier on me. I don't have to look every single time. So I just take a white gel pen and mark that line, and then I'm all set to go. I have another little piece of scrap. I think this is a Stampin' Up! Pattern paper that I got a long time ago. So I'm just going to put him down here. And this just happens to be a little bit shorter than that, which is fine. And I'm just going to take that white gel pen that I had out and do a little stitching here. And here's our card base. It's 5.5 by 4.25. It's a top fold card here, and I cut out a doily shape using a silhouette file, and I'm just going to put that on the card front here. And I've been debating what I wanted to use, and I think I'm just going to use a glue stick. We'll see how that goes. Just because there's so many, oops. So I was afraid of, there's so many holes. So we'll see how this goes. There. Let's go ahead and build up the front here. It looks like that's going to work right there. I'm going to pop this heart up just a little bit. Actually, I didn't want to quite do that yet. I have some twinery. Some twinery twine. This is their sample pack if you've never seen it. The original one before they got the new colors. So I think I'm going to use a little bit of the Caribbean across the top here. Okay, so now I'm going to put that back. And then I'm going to pop this whole thing up. Kind of like how it's wonky. Last thing. Around the bottoms, and then I'm going to just run some stitching, faux stitching all the way around the edge. Okay, so that does it for today's create-a card, just a sweet little happy anniversary card. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Bye.